What's the weirdest birthday present you've ever received? A dried cod and a large hammer. Exactly 12 years ago, on my 30th birthday, I had a housewarming party. It is common in my culture to give single women weird gifts when they turn 30. My father has his own boat, and his boat club takes part in the annual cod fishing festival in Lofoten. They make some excellent dried fish, and he knows I really like it. The fish is prepared by beating it with a hammer until the flesh separates from the bone. It smells very fishy. His friends reacted with, "You can't give a single 30 years old woman dry fish." "You are right," he said. "I'll also give her this hammer so she can beat it." I pretended to not get their joke and enjoyed the fish. Interesting. What country are you from? I pretended to not get their joke and enjoyed the fish. Am I missing something? What was the joke? That a woman that had never been in a relationship at 30 would be like an old dry fish herself. An anatomically correct life-size female mannequin from a women's clothing store that had closed. For a mannequin, she had a beautiful face and, of course, a shapely figure. It was given to me by a group of college friends when I turned 21, and the gift included boxes of lingerie and various articles of clothing to dress her up in a variety of creative word ways. My friends gave my husband an Obama look-alike mannequin for one of his birthdays, mainly as a joke, because he has a slight phobia of dolls. But we had a lot of fun with that mannequin, dressing him up in various wacky outfits, and taking him to parties, or into pubs to freak out the wait staff. Put the mannequin in a banana suit and the possibilities are endless. But we had a lot of fun with that mannequin as where I chose to stop reading. I choose to believe that Obamaquin became the chocolate in your nightly ice cream sandwich. How anatomically correct are we talking? A board game with half the pieces missing. Then the guy asked me for it back after a couple of days. He probably found the pieces and realized that he could play it now. Or he never wanted to give it away to begin with, so he took out half the pieces so that Op wouldn't want to keep it. Or he just ate half of them and pooped them out 2 days later and wanted to see if they were still usable. Mine is similar, or I guess the inverse. My sister and I have birthdays only 2 weeks apart. For my 8th and her 10th birthday we each invited our classes to a joint party, which was like 20 kids. My dad was stationed on a pretty small base overseas, so the PX was really small, and everybody shopped there. I ended up with 5 Scrabble Junior games, and she got 4. Out of 20 kids worth of presents we got 9 that were exactly the same thing. And I don't think we ever ended up playing any of them. A mace, as in the medieval weapon. My brother made it. Mailed it to me. The mailman accidentally delivered to the rectory, where the priest lived. I was living in a convent at the time. It had a good-natured, but profane, note included. The priest thought it was some kind of threat, and called the cops. Fun birthday. Pictures, for anyone curious. Bruh, I want a mace. Do you still have it? That's an amazing gift, honestly. Priest wanted the mace for himself. It would go perfectly with his heavy armor. Was the mace magical though? If not, the priest probably is going to need to find a proper enchanter to +1 it, and find a shield to increase his AC while he is at it. Not sure if it's magical. I did smash a car radio with it once, though. It made some sparks when I missed and hit the pavement. Maybe magic? For me it was a music pillow. It was a pillow with a small speaker box which worked via aux in it, so you could play music while sleeping, I guess. I never understood why anyone would want to play music while they were trying to fall asleep, and especially not when the speaker is so close to your ears. The sound was really scuffed, and the speaker inside the pillow was super hard, so not the most comfortable pillow as well. I have a roommate that has a little speaker he carries with him pretty much everywhere. Shower, kitchen, backyard, you name it, he brings it. It almost drives me crazy sometimes living with it, but whatevers. He's happy. He just enjoys a constant soundtrack to his life, I guess. I feel like this gift would be perfect for him. I have headphones in if I'm not at work or sleeping, pretty much always listening to music. My mom once got me misshapen underwear. It was sold at dollar stores and was like a reject pile where one leg hole was very big and one was very tiny. She got me like 5 pairs of it. Also once someone gave me a half-burned candle. Also once someone gave me a half-burned candle. You sure they didn't just grab it from the cake? It was one of those candles in a jar. They got it at a thrift store, which I guess I sort of understand if the person was poor, but they were extremely wealthy and also extremely cheap. Same person ripped off the cover of a birthday card someone had given her and sent it to me in an envelope because it cost less to reuse the front of the card than to buy a new one. Same person also used to steal tons of stuff from work. People amaze me. There is Mr. Krabs cheap, and then there are these guys. I get a pack that contains a deodorant, shower gel and shampoo from my aunt and uncle literally every single year. At first I thought they keep giving me this because it's cheap, but after the third consecutive year I started to question my hygiene. No, I'm guessing they didn't know what to get you and didn't want to get you something that you wouldn't like and wouldn't use. And hey, everyone uses deodorant and shower stuff, so they figured it would be good. Can confirm. This was pretty much what we gave my sister's ex-fiancé every year because dude was impossible to buy for. I used to be the recipient here, but then it stopped and it was actually a little upsetting. I have to buy shampoo myself like a peasant. It's practical. Can't go wrong with soap. Everyone needs soap. When I turned 18, about 20 of my friends threw a surprise party in my basement, and as a gift, one of my friends gave me one of those mini boxes of Cocoa Krispies, and everyone at the party signed the box before I got there. His explanation was, I wasn't even told we were throwing you a surprise party until like an hour and a half ago, so I panicked and looked around my house for a good last minute gift. Then I saw that box sitting on the kitchen counter, and it was just meant to be. I still have that box sitting on my dresser to this day. AWH, this one's kinda sweet. Wait, why does this have so many upvotes? It literally contributes nothing to the conversation. Of course it's sweet. That cereal is packed with sugar. Did it have Cocoa Krispies still in it? Some kid who was the son of my mom's friend came to my party without an invite. He gave me his geography report on Greece from school for my 12th birthday. Thanks, Barrett. Did you at least learn anything about Greece? Doubtful. I was in school with the kid for a while, and he always slacked, unless it was a serious paper. Nonetheless, he still always seemed to have C's and even D's. Never understood how a D is a passing grade. Up to the 9th grade we value between 1 to 5, and anything below a 3 is a failing grade, but in the US, it seems that anything that isn't an F is passable. At my college a D would still award you Class CRS, but not qualify towards any major, minor, or gen ed requirements. On my 13th birthday my friend presented me a string. He said, now you can play with your cat. I didn't have a cat. I like the friend's assumption that you weren't able to play with your cat until he was so kind as to grace you with string. Was it at least a quality piece of string? Like, was it a shoelace, or was it yarn? How long was it? These are important pieces of information. Man, thank goodness. I hate wanting to play with my cat and not having the appropriate tools. Did you pull it to reveal the embarrassing picture of SpongeBob? Maybe it was a setup, and he would then say surprise, and your parents handed you a kitten, but then your parents didn't get you a kitten after all, and forgot to tell the kid. I got a Dirt Devil box, one of those little handheld vacuum cleaners. I was like, okay, that's a weird gift for a 9-year-old. Then I opened the box, and it was a hatchet. I liked camping. My parents reused a vacuum box for gifts for a few years after my young sister, and I made jokes about getting a vacuum cleaner for Christmas one year. My family would do stuff like that. We'd save up boxes from food and stuff to wrap gifts in, and then comment on the box. Like, alright, pancake mix or waffles again. Stuff like that. We do it less now, since there are fewer presents, because we're older and a lot of them are wrapped in Amazon boxes, but it's still fun when it happens. A photo album with a silver effect, embossed cover with the word baby and a pram. I have no kids, and no intention of having them. But does the gifter want you to procreate? I told my grandmother that I didn't want children, and the very next thing she bought me was a bunch of pregnancy and child rearing books. I honestly think she thought I'd change my mind. It was a colleague. I don't think she had strong feelings about it either way. I have honestly encountered people who totally missed things like that on gifts, like giving a mug that says sister to a coworker. I accidentally gave a stemless wine glass to my girlfriend, a recovered alcoholic. I thought it was just a cool cup. The last time my aunt saw me was back when I was 4 years old. She sent me a small kid-sized Spider-Man t-shirt when I was 13. Time stands still for everyone I haven't seen in a while. Everyone ever. Age is relative. Time is a construct. I got my degree but everyone still thinks I just started university. It's annoying. I teach high school, but a lot of my mum's relatives just hear the words high school and still insist I must be a teenager. Can confirm, I was absolutely flabbergasted to see that a kid I last saw as a kindergartner 6 years ago was now in 6th grade. I got a toaster that toasts Bob Ross's face onto the bread, 0.8 months late, from a great aunt I hadn't ever met or heard from before. I turned 23 for the birthday that gift was for. Excuse me, they didn't say the best gift earlier. I got 3 awards, that's pretty sick. Bob Ross used to receive up to 200 letters from fans per day. When regular letter writers fell out of touch, he would phone them just to see if they were okay. He was the epitome of wholesome. And now with this toaster, he is the epitome of whole grain. At least you made 78 people laugh. Wrapping paper wrapped in wrapping paper. Was the wrapped wrapping paper still usable? That must be a prank, or was it serious? The real gift was inside him all along. He just had to unwrap his inner turmoil first, which is what the gift was an allegory for. The realization gained from receiving the gift improved his mental health and well-being, allowing him to finally get the courage to demand that promotion at work and ask his sweetheart for her hand in marriage. Unfortunately, both were summarily denied, leading to a deep depression and eventual liver failure from alcohol poisoning. Grandmother gave me a Bible and a massive jar of pickles one year to snack on while I became a good religious boy, I suppose. Cucumbers are actually mentioned twice in the Bible. Numbers 11:5 says, "We remember the fish we ate in Egypt at Noah was stir also the cucumbers, melons, leeks, onions and garlic." Isaiah 1:8 says, "Daughter Zion is left like a shelter in a vineyard, like a hut in a cucumber field, like a city under siege." She should have given you all that stuff too. I would love a city under siege, lol.